The Roccat Kone Pro.
You may have seen videos about it.
Or maybe even this ad.
Now I can build a bridge very fast in Minecraft.
I'm Eric, he's Devin, we're MineMouse, and today we'll be answering the question of whether or not the Roccat Kone Pro deserves the title of the best mouse for competitive Minecraft. The Kone Pro is an ultra-lightweight right-handed ergo mouse. The Kone Pro has one of the most comfortable shapes I've tried for claw grip. Although it's a bit wide for me, I would recommend it to those with medium to large hands. It's not bad for palm and usable for fingertip, which is really surprising for a large ergo mouse.
When first using the Kone Pro, this very aggressive bump near the thumb rest made it so my hand had to arch around that spot rather than lying in a more relaxed position. After using the mouse for a little while, this became less of an issue. However, I still don't find it all that comfortable. Other than that, I really like the shape. The curvature of the triggers feel really good, but are not too aggressive. The comfort grooves on the right side of the mouse feel really good. And just in general, the rest of the mouse feels to contour to my hand quite well.
Although Roccat lists the weight as 66 grams, on my scale the mouse weighs more like 64, which is really impressive given its size. Lower weight will mean quicker and easier movements, though some bridgers do prefer heavier mice for greater stability.
I think, given how light and how large this mouse is, it has really good overall build quality. Yes, if you push quite hard on it, the plastic will creak a bit and it'll flex. However, for actual everyday use, this never comes into play. The shell feels perfectly fine when holding it regularly.
The main triggers of the mouse use Roccat's Titan optical switches, which are very light but also very dull. Some reviewers have compared the switches to Razer's Gen 2 opticals. I personally don't find them similar at all, as Razer's switches are significantly more tactile.
The main buttons have some pre-travel, but a lot of post-travel. The post-travel on this mouse feels very different from others. The front of the trigger flexes down even when you're pressing from further up, which gives the clicks a strange, mushy, and uncomfortable feel. This makes spam clicking fairly annoying if you like putting more pressure into your clicks. I'd say the main clicks are the largest downside of this mouse. However, in contrast, the side buttons are the best feeling out of any mouse I've used. Their clicks are super tactile, they're positioned really well to be convenient to press but don't get in the way. These are probably my favorite side buttons on a gaming mouse.
The feet on the Kone Pro are heat-treated PTFE. They have decent surface area and are reasonably rounded, allowing for a very fast and smooth glide on the level of some aftermarket skates. These are really fantastic feet, and it's absolutely not necessary to replace them.
I personally really dislike the scroll wheel on the Kone Pro. I think it's too wide and gets in the way when trying to use clicking methods like butterfly clicking, particularly when butterflying the right click. The placement of the scroll wheel and its size also makes it very easy to accidentally click while scrolling. However, the scroll wheel does feel very tactile and satisfying to press when you mean to press it, and the scroll has fairly defined steps and doesn't have too much resistance. But I don't think that makes up for it being way too common to accidentally press and being a little clunky. The cable on this mouse is certainly above average. It's fairly flexible. I'd say it's on the medium end of stock paracord cables, maybe slightly stiffer than something like a Glorious cable. It generally stays out of the way, and even without a mouse bungee, I hardly ever notice it's there. Out of popular clicking methods in Minecraft, the Kone Pro really specializes in drag clicking. It has adjustable debounce down to 0 milliseconds in the Roccat Swarm software, which allows it to register every single click. I am not the greatest drag clicker, but I've been able to hit over 30 CPS fairly easily on this mouse, even without tape.
The Kone Pro has one of the best coatings for drag clicking on any mouse, even superior to that of the Bloody A Bedless. Tape is absolutely not needed. I'm not the best drag clicker, but I've been able to hit 50 CPS long dragging and around 20 CPS short dragging, more than enough to god bridge, reduce, and extend. I go as far as to say this is the best drag clicking mouse currently available.
For butterfly clicking, the Kone Pro is also pretty good. I can hit over 20 CPS while butterflying on it for both the left and the right click. The buttons may be a bit narrow for those with very large fingers, but for most people it should be fine.
I've been able to hit 25 CPS when butterflying on the Kone Pro, which is respectable, but I find the Kone Pro to hit slightly lower and less consistent numbers than something like a Model D or a Pulsefire Haste. Jitter clicking on the Kone Pro I found to be okay. I can hit 13 to 15 CPS, the buttons are nice and light, however the host travel can be a minor nuisance. Strangely enough, the clicking method I find least comfortable on the Kone Pro is normal clicking. Like we mentioned before, the port implementation of the main switches just makes spam clicking fairly annoying. It's something you can get used to with time, I just would not recommend it if you are sensitive to click feel. So, in conclusion, does the Kone Pro live up to the title of the best Minecraft mouse? Well, it depends on what you're looking for.
For bridging, the Kone Pro is arguably the best mouse on the market. You don't need to mess around with tape or anything like that to drag click. The 0 millisecond debounce makes it great for high CPS butterflying, which is used in many staircase bridging methods. And finally, a point which is more subjective, I find this mouse really comfortable for timed double click bridging. I can consistently average over 3 blocks a second, ninja bridging, and although I am still learning how to god bridge, I perform better double click god bridging on the Kone Pro than any other mouse I've tried.
For PvP, while the Kone Pro is solid, I'd say there are better options. For both jitter and butterfly kicking, a fair amount of mice beat out the Kone Pro. Overall, however, the Kone Pro is perhaps one of the most well-rounded mice for competitive Minecraft. I place it in my top 2 or 3.
The MSRP of the Kone Pro is $80. However, the actual retail price fluctuates as it often goes on sale. Currently, the mouse is selling for $45 at places like Amazon and Best Buy. I think this mouse presents a lot of value at that price point, particularly for bridgers and drag clickers. However, in general, I would say if the price of this mouse is ever over $60, I would look elsewhere for a mouse that provides better value or just wait for it to go on sale again. At least with recent price history, you should never have to wait too long for the price to drop.
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. And if you found this review helpful, you should consider subscribing as we will be making more mouse reviews in the future. That's all for now. Remember, have some fun.